They're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon. Will you be ready?
In 1983, George Lucas founded THX, a high-fidelity audio and visual reproduction company that basically created the standard in audio all over, from movies to theaters, radio systems, even video games. The THX system itself isn't really a system made for recording or anything, it's more like a quality assurance system, to give your audio crisp, booming sounds. Fun fact, later in 2016, it was acquired by Razer Inc. That's really not necessary to this video at all, but I think that's kind of neat. Honestly, THX is one of those companies that you don't really think too much about, and to be real with you, I would say most of us wouldn't even know it existed if it weren't for that sound. That goddamn sound. Here's a common story for all of us. When the sound came on, known as the deep note by the way, most of us, I assume, either lowered the volume all the way down, or y'all ran away from the room, or hid under your bed, or alternatively, you could have had asshole family members who thought it was really funny when you cried and screamed when the deep note came on. So they bumped up the volume to the max and yeah, you cried even more, and they find it funny because they love teasing you. Fuck them, right? More importantly, fuck Dr. Andy Moore, the creator of the Deep Note. Actually, what Andy Moore did was nothing short of genius. He created the Deep Note initially to test how deep and loud stereo notes work, but then it was turned into the very theme for THX in a way to show everyone the power of their system. You gotta keep in mind, before THX, a lot of sounds in movies weren't really dynamic, and some were running on mono, not even considering stereo. The quality of sound pissed off one particular individual for his particularly big movie, which was of course George Lucas with Star Wars, when he reportedly said that he couldn't hear key plot points or certain sound effects that he was really impressed by, but was emulated so poorly that he just made THX to make sure that his next movie would sound richer and look better. In a way, THX was a big fuck you to every theater that didn't really set its standards high when it came to sound. THX made its big debut in Return of the Jedi, which was the first time people ever heard it. Imagine how mind-blowing that is, like really. It's like having this shitty audio for your entire life and it's just there and you can't really do anything about it, and then you show up at this movie premiere and then this booming sound surrounds the entire theater and pretty much skull fucks everyone there. I mean, that's incredible. As for how it was really created, well, I can't really articulate how exactly it was made, as I'm not personally into audio engineering, but I do know that this sound was generated by a computer created from the ground up by Andy Moore. He could have done it manually by increasing the pitch of every channel, but that would have been pretty arduous, so instead he went through the other method of just letting a computer do it for him, which was a program that used up over 600 lines of code. Not a huge feat, but definitely not small, especially considering that he did it in just 4 days, and this was 1986. It's also interesting to note that the THX Deep Note isn't actually that loud. I know, right? How can it not be that loud? Well, it just isn't. It's more of an illusion that it's a high volume thing. Because the sound starts off so low, the end of the crescendo being so high pitched and containing over 30 voices make us perceive it to be louder than it really is. Though be it loud superficially or not, ultimately is superfluous, as it still makes people unsettled and scared. I'm sure even for adults they felt the same way as THX became a commodity. I know for a fact some of my viewers are much more sensitive to sound too, so hearing the THX logo must have been a nightmare, and I feel for y'all. And I'm not really sure if newer people like you guys just spawned in, but no, seriously, people who are like under the age of 15 or you're still in your teens, I don't know if you guys still have THX in your movie theaters. I mean, I've been watching a ton, and I mean a ton, of Netflix for the past few months, and I'm sure most of you have too, and I have not come across the THX logo in ever. Actually, out of maybe 30 or 50 movies that we watched, yeah, I haven't seen it at all. Which is a funny thing, because I'm pretty sure if you go to THX's channel on YouTube, you can see the 4K resolution remastered strange CG thing that they have up there, and I'm assuming that's for newer movies, but again, I have not seen any movies use the THX logo at all. Personally, while I did hate this THX Deep Note bullshit, I also wasn't a really big fan of the New Line Cinema logo. That one creeped me out too, and I really don't know why. Actually digging through the whole New Line Cinema logo and as well as the THX logo, I found this one wiki called the Scary Logos Wiki, and that made me dive deep into a really weird rabbit hole that I might have to visit later on in Traumathon, or hell, just for fun. Whatever the case, it's been remastered, regenerated, and remade a couple of times, but that iconic THX Deep Note sound is still the thing that gives kids back then, and probably kids even now, a ton of nightmares.